How are you doing, Pastor John?
Yes, sir. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for inviting me. Well, I just wanted to take the time to say thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for inviting me to do this interview. I think it's important.
Yes, sir.
I think it's very important that this be done. But thanks for having me.
Okay, once again, guys, welcome to this live interview. I'm here with the great man of God, Pastor John. And please, to make this clear, this interview is not about politics. I'm just a concerned member of the community, and I've been looking through the group chat, and I've seen a lot of allegations about personal issues and a lot of stuff going on. I just want to clarify the doubt for so many Liberians that in the group. So
Yes,
just
sir.
want to know what is happening. I felt like concerned you're not running for any position.
I'm not. I thought about it.
I felt like concerned that I don't know if it's something, but I know that you're not.
Well, I did think about it. I don't know if you ever saw I posted
You
a
think-
hypothetical.
That was
you
just
know,
a suggestion.
sometime
You were
back.
just you were thinking about it,
Yeah,
but it's
I
not.
thought about
it's
it,
not out in the
but
community.
I realized that, just with what I'm engaged in, the kind of work I'm engaged in the nonprofit sector, and with my plate was already full.
Okay.
And so I would be doing the community a disservice were I to run for office at this time.
Okay.
So I know there are other people in the race, other people running. Personally, I'm not. I do have a candidate that I'm supporting.
Fair enough.
In this race. I think it's my right.
Yes, sir.
As a member of the community to support whomever I feel or I deem is the best candidate. But I'm going to let you ask your questions, because I know you said that you are a concerned Liberian. You're a member of this community, obviously.
Yes,
and,
sir.
You've been seeing, I'm sure you've seen the exchanges, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you probably just want to clarify, which is fair, So I'll let you proceed with that, and then I will go ahead and answer your questions.
Okay. So this is just, who is Mr. John?
Well, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a lot of people know me in the Liberian community as Pastor John. Some people say Reverend Vawar and all of that. But just for those of you who don't know, I've been in the DFW community since 1996.
Wow.
Okay, so that's going on 25 years. So I've been here a long time. There's some people that have been here longer than I've been. There are some newcomers. And a lot of times you tend to see, of course, not all of the newcomers, but some of the newcomers may be a little bit confused about, the history of this community and, why some of us do what we do, okay, and are concerned in the way we're concerned. But I will, I'll be able to answer that a little more as we dig into this. But my name is John Vawar. Like I said, a lot of you know me as Pastor John. I've pastored in this community. My background in pastoring goes as far back as the Potter's House of Dallas with Bishop T.D. Jakes. When I first came in 1996, it's the first church that I worked with as in youth ministry as assistant youth pastor.
Okay.
And later on, I worked in other roles at that church, right? And since then, I've worked in different aspects of ministry. I'm currently with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, okay, as missionary at large, okay, in the Texas district. So what that means is I do a lot of things surrounding outreach and community engagement and of course soul winning and that kind of stuff. And I help various churches in the community with different things. But I'm sorry, that's the long answer. But yeah.
Okay, are you pastoring a particular church?
Right now, I am not pastoring a particular church in the Liberian community.
Okay.
I'm serving as interim pastor at one of the Lutheran churches here in the DFW area that asked me to come on during a transition period where they lost a pastor and they needed some help to stabilize that ministry. And that's what I do. That's what I'm an expert at. Okay, so we're able to get in there and during the interim period just to help them go through that transition and stabilize things. And then after that, because like I said, my designation is I'm a missionary,
Yes,
okay, and a strategist from that standpoint. Once I'm done there, I move on to my core, to focus on the core things that I do ministry-wise.
Okay, so you've been in the community for almost 25 years.
Yes, sir.
So, what have been your affiliation with the LCA community? What have you done as a member of the LCA community for the past 25 years you've been in this community?
Well, and thanks for that question, because I think it's a fair question. A lot of people want to know, who is this person, you know, especially when you're very vocal. And I'm very vocal. I don't make any apologies for it. And I'm vocal for a reason, right? I've been, in the last 25 years, engaged in the Liberian community in various capacities. First of all, I pay my dues, okay? I have my own theory about due paying, and, you know, I think we can do it better, you know, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. But I do pay my dues, so I'm a bona fide member of the community. I've been here 25 years. I've seen community leadership, as far as LCA is concerned, I've seen it come and go. Okay, I've seen different types of leaders, different types of people, and I understand the history, okay, of this community. As far as what I've done, I've been engaged. You know, I've helped in various ways and various capacities. Now, because I personally have never run for office, okay, community office,
okay,
I've always played sort of a supporting role to the leadership by providing my expertise whenever needed, providing my advice whenever needed, and also I'm a networker.
Okay.
So wherever I find myself, whatever capacity I'm in, whether with church or any entity or any organization, I always try to network the community so that we can collectively all make our community better. And so I've contributed in that way over the years.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a little bit confused with the current administration, who is the Joseph Chi administration.
Yeah.
What is your role in this administration?
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't think it's any secret. It's no secret that I support this administration, that I supported Joseph Chi's bid for the presidency, as well as Steve Keller,
okay,
and the rest of those who were running. I supported that ticket, and I've made no bones about it. This is where I stand. Because one thing you need to understand about me is I'm a loyalist, okay, and I take a stand. I take side, and I know the reason why. Let me tell you why this question is important. Is a lot of people tend to say, oh, you know, if you call yourself pastor, why are you taking side?
I'm gonna get that.
I need to address that.
No, I'm gonna get that. I get a lot of questions for you, sir. I'm gonna get that, but we didn't go because I want my audience to know what really is going on with the community.
Okay.
Because
great.
as concerned member of this community, we want to know.
Yeah.
Because in the group chat, I'm seeing a lot of back and forth going within the group chat.
Exactly.
And then we don't know if this is going personal.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if it's going to discuss politics, let's discuss politics.
Okay.
We should not discuss people's personality and talking about
Agreed.
he's a pastor, he want to be this. No, we have to differentiate being a pastor and being a politician.
Exactly.
But so that's why we're going to ask you the relevant question.
I need to address that because I don't think the two are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
You understand? I will explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people who tend to want to say, oh, stay in your lane. But who created those lanes? You get what I'm saying? Who says in the community that you have this lane and that lane? As a matter of fact, who are you to tell me what lane I should be in?
Okay.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
Let me ask you this, Pastor Vawar.
Yeah.
I should not say Pastor Vawar, sorry. Pastor Vawar. This is the one thing I want to know, right? LCS, the main objective is to bring Liberians together, right?
Agreed.
Okay, so I have been noticing in a group chat, which is there to communicate with other, bring us together as one people. But I have been seeing some member, when they try to express their feelings out, to voice out their opinions, and the administrator of the group, which is she gave warning out, you have to be polite, you have to do this, you have to go by the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And then currently we have like 4 to 5 members of the opposition camp that has been removed from the group chat.
Yeah.
So as an advisor to this current administration, What are you doing to bring these guys back on the chat?
And thanks for the question. I'm glad you asked. First of all, we need to make it clear that the secretary of LCA, in her role as secretary right now, is not doing anything that is outside of her duty and outside of her role. When she does it, I don't think, because I've heard people accuse saying, well, she's working for a campaign or whatever.
We're gonna address that too.
So
because it's not nothing. It's not anything hard in that you support the Keter campaign.
Well, I support. There's no secret that I support the Chair administration. Okay, that I supported them in the election and over the last 3 years.
Chair is not running for no elected position,
that's
right?
Another issue.
So we have to get this clear.
Well, that's something else we need to address.
To my audience, let me just let you guys know, Mr. Joseph Chair, the current president, he's not running for any elected position.
Exactly.
And this discussion is not about any politics. It's not about Nathaniel. It's not about Keter. It's just about concerned member of LCA Association. I'm just concerned, and my friends are just concerned about things that go on within the chat room that we think that is good enough to have a conversation.
But here's the issue: you hit on something. Joseph Chair is not running.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Keller
is the one I run.
Who was his vice president?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And by the way, he recused himself from all activities because he didn't want to appear as having some sort of advantage or be accused of having some sort of edge. So he's recused himself, okay? And Steve Keller is the one running. But this particular campaign, you know, which I call the opposition, because my support is clear as far as who I support, is preoccupied with Joseph Chair and his administration and all of that. And so they've constantly gone into the chat room and all other forums to try to discredit, okay, and maligned the Chair administration. And that's not even the focus. It's like you're fighting the wrong battle on the wrong battlefront, okay? You're in an election, it's election season. We know it gets heated, okay? That's all part of it, you know? Nobody's offended. I'm not offended, all right? But instead of focusing on who you're running against, you decide to become preoccupied with the previous administration.
Okay.
And the reason, which I'm going to make clear here, for that is because there is vendetta at play here. There is animosity. There is acrimony. You understand what I'm saying? You have a problem, a fundamental problem with this administration that you cannot get past. And you've allowed it to cloud your judgment, right? And so you're preoccupied with Joseph Chair and his administration when you should be making your case to the community as to why we should vote for you. You're running to be president, which is the lead leadership position for our community. Okay,
that's fair enough.
And it's huge.
That's fair enough. I think that every single member of the association that choose to be president, vice president, secretary, campaign, or whatever elected position you vie for, I think the community get a right to ask you these questions.
Exactly.
So I don't think that anybody should be.
But that needs to be made clear that, because I've had people reach out to me and say, "What's going on? Is this personal with you and Nathaniel Gwine?" I'm like, "What?"
That's the big question.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer.
That's the big question. Let me
answer it for you.
Mr. Nathaniel.
Yeah, let me answer it.
Let me ask you the question.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I'm trying to just play around.
Yeah.
Since you're trying to hit, let me just hit it.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Nathaniel has served the community for a very long time. We always
for how long though?
I'll say I'm not too familiar, but I know that he has been very, very active.
Okay.
From the state administration to the Doga administration, even the current administration.
What roles did he play?
He served as the board chair.
In which administration?
In this current administration that he just resigned because of the election.
Well, because you're talking about someone serving as board chair, and
but he has
this board was nowhere to be found. This board is preoccupied with fighting when the administration.
We cannot justify that because
when the administration was distributing food and in the middle of COVID and trying to be helpful to the community.
Mr. John, we cannot.
This board is an activist board.
We cannot come up with allegations that we don't have proof.
This board hasn't been present.
Because you have to understand, the board was
Under
elected.
Nathaniel Guan's leadership, this board has been absent.
How is it being absent? And all the time, when it comes to making great decisions, the current administration has to go through the board.
No. You see, and that's a misconception I need to correct. The administration, per the Constitution of LCA, does not have to go through the board to make certain, if not any, decision.
So I'm gonna be, you're kind of confusing right now. So let me ask,
we need to correct these things.
The board, if the current administration don't necessarily have to report or go to the board for advice or anything, why was the board
for advice
or for making decisions? Let's just say
for making decisions. The administration does not have to go to the board.
So if the administration does not have to go, why was the board elected?
Exactly. And let me answer the question. Now, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. Because the issue is a lot of people have this misconception and don't understand what's going on. And you're allowing misinformation and disinformation to inform your decision making and your view of what's happening. Okay, so let me be clear. The LCA board is a board of advisors. Okay? It is a board of advisors as far as the Constitution and the bylaws of LCA defines this board.
Okay.
And the Constitution and bylaws of LCA says that this board is to function as a board of advisors and to constantly provide advice to the administration, whatever administration is in power at the time, for the advancement and the betterment of the community. So basically the board is supposed to be working, okay, in cooperation with the administration, not fighting it, not opposing it function. But here's the thing, our constitution, our LCA constitution clearly defines how this board is supposed to function. And what it says is, this board is a board of advisors. So the Constitution limits the powers of this board. And you cannot overstep that without amending the Constitution. That is what Mr. Guan doesn't understand. Or he understands it, but his first move, okay, as board chairman from day one was a power move to usurp the authority of the association and to function as an activist board. The first thing this board did from day one at the very first meeting was declare coup d'etat. And let me tell you what I mean by that.
When you mean coup d'etat, can you really explain to my audience so they get know what you mean by coup d'etat?
The chairman came with a list of functions and how the board is going to operate as far as his own definition of that, completely ignoring the bylaws and constitution, and proceeded to tell the administration, because I was in the meeting, to tell this administration, you're going to function like this, and this is how we're going to function. We're going to tell you what to do. Okay. You're going to be a figurehead, and we're going to tell you what to do. Now, let me be clear. That is not even the traditional role of a board. Okay, you're not supposed to be there to tell the administration or the leadership organization, you're going to do what we tell you to do. You're just going to be a figurehead, and you're going to make your own rules. Okay, now to a point you can make your own rules to govern you internally as a board on how you're going to function, but not to tell the administration how they're going to function and not function, and they're going to have everything has to go through you, and you have to approve everything, and you're the final arbiter of everything. Okay, that is egregious. That's overstepping. And that's what they did. That's why from day one they met with resistance, because I was there. There are a lot of people who have gotten wrong information and were not there. I was there when these guys tried to do that. And the Constitution and the bylaws of LCA limits the powers of the board. It is not the fault of the administration that they're telling you, hey, you're not functioning the way you're supposed to, you're overstepping your traditional role. Okay? The administration is simply following what's written in the bylaws and constitution. It's saying, yeah, I know this is what you would like it to be. Maybe this is even how it ought to be, but this is not how it is. the way it is, according to how the Bible and Constitution says it, is how we're going to function. And you're not going to come and just change it arbitrarily. That's what Mr. Guan tried to do. They try to just change it on the fly. You have to go through constitutional amendment. If you don't like what it says and you don't like the limitations it puts on you, that's fine. I don't mind that you don't like it. Okay, and you have a right to change it. But in order to change it, you need to go through the proper process.
Okay.
And they refuse to go through the proper process and try to, and they try to impose their will on the administration. When they got pushed back, then they accuse the administration of being disrespectful. How are you going to tell grown people and grown men that, oh, you disrespectful and you this? And this is a grown man. And you understand? And that has a family. And these are not children. You're not dealing with children. You want to talk to them any kind of way. I'm sorry.
These are the people. These are people. Yeah, these are the kind of people that. But you sent a post in the group chat, and from my own perspective, right? I've kind of think that with the post, you was a little bit personal. Okay. With Mr. Vawar.
Why do you say that?
Because the post is like you was accusing him of being the one that allowing people within his camp to be arrogant or being very, very aggressive in the chat room.
Yeah, and I don't step back from that.
So if most people that I've talked to, they think that Pastor was very, very personal. Okay. Tell Mr. Guai, but you really want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Why not? Let's talk about it. First of all,
let me ask you the question. Yeah. Do you have any issue?
I'm glad you asked the question.
The current candidate of. Because I
have an issue. Oh, I have plenty of issues.
Do you have any personal, not politics, not about, you have any personal issue? We have to make it very clear. All right. You have any personal issue with Mr. Nat?
Personally, and I'm very careful how I'm answering this.
Yes, sir.
First of all, me and the man never try to run behind the scene woman or any you understand. So
the pastor tended to the Congo way. Okay,
you might say never try to run behind the scene woman before. I don't have beef with you in that way. Okay. The problem I have, with Mr. Nathaniel Guan, and I'm saying this here, and I'm not mincing my words. Is he's trying to present and portray himself as someone he is not. And let me tell you what I mean.
If you said that, that's too deep.
Yeah, let me tell you what I mean by that. I can back up everything I say.
Why would you say that he's trying to?
He's presenting himself as someone he is not.
He has been one of the most respected person in the community for years.
Yeah, perception is not always reality. Okay, perception is not always reality. And let me tell you what I mean.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do this, the next show I'm going to try as much as I can to get somebody from his camp and somebody from so we can get this together.
Yeah, so because what this is, I'm setting the record straight. Okay. Okay. So to answer your question,
because let me backtrack. By you saying that, he's presenting himself as somebody he's not.
I'm about to tell you what I mean by that. Okay. So you know that this is not an attack on character or an attack on, which I hear people say that a lot, but character is important when it comes to leadership.
Yes, sir.
So it's all fair game. It has to be scrutinized. Now, I would never attack someone's family, or their.
That's fair enough.
No
family,
children,
no wife,
family, that kind of stuff. That's out of bounds.
That's fair enough.
But to answer your question, let me do this. Let me backtrack. Okay. First of all, let me make it very clear, because the number one go-to that I've seen a lot of these guys that call themselves strategists and chairman of campaign and this that they go to, even Mr. Guan went to that, and I'll answer your question is. You call yourself pastor. Why you call yourself pastor? You're giving wrong advice to the administration and you're taking side. Okay? Let me be very clear. Who made a rule that because you pastor in community that you cannot speak on the truth?
But also to the pastor, the pastor is a member of the community.
I'm a member of the community.
So that one is fair enough. The pastor is, you pay dues. So you're a member of the community.
Let me tell you, by virtue of the fact that I'm a pastor means I already finished taking side. I do take sides. I need that to make that very clear. Okay? And by virtue of the fact that I'm a pastor, it means that I've already taken a side.
Okay.
I'm on the side of the Lord. I'm on the side of the truth. And wherever the truth is not being spoken, I have an obligation. It is my right to speak against it. That's what I mean when I say this guy, Mr. Guan, and his VP candidate are not who they are portraying themselves to be. I'm speaking from a place of wherever there is disinformation and misinformation, I have an obligation and a right as a member of this community, okay, to speak on it, even as a pastor. So I want to lay to rest this notion, because they've used it over and over that because you pastor, you say you're not supposed to take side. Who told you? You the one created that lane for me to drive in?
Yeah, most of the time people say, oh,
that your pop because road, that you tell me I can drive on lane.
People say that, oh, he's a man of God. He's supposed to stay in the church and
I've already taken side.
So
the fact I'm a man of God, I already taken a side.
Okay,
but it's in my very nature as a man of God to take side.
I get that, Pastor, but
make no mistake.
I want you to go real deep into. When I ask the question about if you have any personal issue,
and that's what I'm about to answer.
I want you to rather go into details with that so the community can know.
But the foundation I wanted to lay before I answer that question is, it is my right to speak on what's happening in the community. And number two, if you are running, anybody, for the lead position in our community, as leader of our community. Maybe some people don't take the community thing serious and don't take it important. I take it serious. You know why I take it serious? Because you're talking about the future of our community. Get back to the point. The point is, I have a right to speak on it. It is my obligation and my right. Number two, when you put yourself out there as running for the lead position, you're subjected to scrutiny. We have a right to scrutinize you. We have a right to question you. We have a right to demand that you make a case, and a good case, for this position you're running for, So sometimes it may feel personal, it may come across like personal. We're just simply operating within our rights to question you.
It's because now you're saying that the Doga and Atania, they're not who they're portraying themselves to be. So then if you said that, I really want you to go deep into that. I want you to go deep into that. Yeah, I want you to answer that, because before, just to make it clear, before we have this stuff, he has always talked positive about you.
Oh yeah,
he has never talked.
I don't go around talking negative.
He has never talked any negative stuff about
people on a personal level.
But so if you say this, so I'm a little bit. I really want to go into deep.
Well, he speak positive because I'm a positive person. You understand? That's part of my nature and my character.
If he speak positive about you, it means that you and he have been into a good relationship. But let
me make something clear.
Yes, sir.
You see, even professionally, I do respect Mr. Guan. He knows that. I've sent him clients. The kind of the work he's doing, where he helps people organize their businesses, the 501c3, and multiple services that he provides. I've sent clients to him. What does that tell you? That tells you that I respect his, from a professional standpoint. There's a level of respect there. I wouldn't be sending you clients if I didn't have that professional.
So Pastor, at this point, we agree to disagree. That's what you're trying to say, right? You agree on some things that he do. But you disagree on things.
That is my point. If you're going to be truthful all around. If you're going to portray yourself as someone of integrity and someone that has look, everybody got some sort of blotch on there. No one is perfect.
But Pastor, he hasn't tell the community.
You're not letting me answer the question. I come answer the question. Answering now.
Okay, then.
Okay, if you're going to portray yourself that way, and your first act, number one. As far as your selection for vice president, listen to me, was a misjudgment and a wrong decision. That's your first. You even get a position here. The man you're selecting for vice president cannot pass scrutiny.
But
hang on.
Don't you think that it's his right to choose who he wants to make his vice president?
Yeah, but it speaks to his judgment and his decision making. Okay, so if you're going to present yourself as someone of clear judgment and of sound decision making, and that's your first decision, your candidate for vice president is under question, has to be fighting to clear his name. You know why he's fighting to clear his name?
We're gonna go to that.
Posting video and taking it down.
We're gonna go through
There's a reason.
We're gonna go through that other aspect of the vice president.
Want to answer the question today. I will answer it.
But the question is, I want to know, and the community at large want to know. When you said that,
the main part of the scene play.
When you said that
he trying to run behind the scene woman,
he pursuing to be this person,
but I just answer. The first thing I give you is the man is saying that his judgment and all, when it comes to his judgment, his decision making, he's the right choice. He's a man of sound judgment, of clarity. Okay, your first act in the selection of a vice president disproves that.
Right. Okay, now that killed the alligator in the room right now. Our former president, Mr. Daniel, he served the community. We all know that he's the former president. And now he is the running mate to Nathaniel.
Yeah.
So
to Nathaniel, who presided over an activist board.
I don't want to say an activist.
It's an activist board.
We don't have proof because these guys.
We don't have proof.
These guys were elected just how the current administration was
elected. Yeah, but you became an activist board because you tried to usurp.
I don't think the community think like that.
Well, the community doesn't know. That's why I'm saying when I tell you somebody is trying to portray themselves as somebody they're not. That's what I'm telling you.
Because what
people don't know. They need to know so they can understand who you're potentially voting for.
Okay.
Okay. So even if the community not thinking that they don't know, I don't want letting them know.
Okay. That
this became an activist board. This board became completely dysfunctional. Okay, to the point where it decided to stand back and not even participate. And you were elected. And the reason being that you decided to stand by and not participate is because you are not allowed to have your way. And so you threw a tantrum like
the board don't, it's not one or two people.
Exactly my point.
So if one person do not agree, and it's like
no, it's not one
person. I think if I don't make a mistake, I think there was almost 12 or 10 board members.
Almost the entire board, except maybe for one or two people, were part of this hostile takeover. You say you don't want me to use certain words, so I'm changing my words now. The reason is because when they came to that first meeting with, this is how we're going to function. We're not going to function the way the Constitution tells us to function. We're going to do our own thing. That amounted to an attempt to hostile takeover.
Okay.
You don't do that in a community where you have an elected administration that has always functioned a certain way, and you have functioned, and you on the fly redefining the function of the board and attributing certain powers to yourself that you don't have. Now, I agree that the board needs to be strengthened. You see, this is where I need to be clear with people.
Okay.
The board does need to be strengthened. We do need to revisit the powers of the board and what, they can and cannot do, and, to be able to be a stronger board, right?
Okay.
And to provide a little bit more checks and balance. But here's the thing. You got to go through the proper process.
Speaking of check and balance, right?
You can't just bring good. You can't. You can't just kind of do hostile takeover.
That go back on checks and balance.
You gotta go through the proper process,
right? The former president, he has. I think this account has been going around.
Yeah.
The rumor been going around that the current administration not aware of this account. Mm-hmm. They cannot take the account because Joseph, the president, he's not authorized to have that account.
Yeah.
And then the former president saying that he gave intent over everything. And I think he posted an update of the account. Mm-hmm. And then it shows that the account is not in his name.
He said whose name now?
It's not in Daniel's name.
Okay.
It's not in Joseph's name. It's in LCA. It was sent there for like scholarship for youth or whatever.
Is that what it said on the post?
Yeah, it don't say anything about
whose name
is on it.
So the post you're talking about, did it say this account is in LCA's name or is it in Mr. Dopa's name?
It's not in Mr. Dopa's name. It's not in Joseph's name. I'm going through it right now. Yeah. I should be giving.
The reason I'm asking you this question is, you see, people need to understand, because you would think that it's personal attack. The other pastor, being personal. John is being personal, troublemaker, whatever you want to say. And what people need to understand is that the reason we're holding...
Okay, thank God. This is the account.
Okay, the reason we're holding these guys' feet to the fire, okay, before y'all go vote, and y'all select whoever to run, maybe you don't take the community business serious. Me, I take it serious, because there's a lot that goes into it, okay? So before y'all go vote, the reason we're holding these guys' feet to the fire is because there have been inconsistencies. Okay, the candidate for VP on the Guan Dopa team, which is Mr. Dopa, has been inconsistent. Okay, and there's some other words I could potentially.
We say inconsistent in what? Because on the call, the last meeting call, he was there, and then he clarified it that.
Listen, you can talk all you want about clarifying. You can post 2019. Show me 2022 statement, okay, and a balance sheet that has the name of the association on
because
this account.
Because the account right here,
and show me
it says LCA
education
statements form scholarship. It don't say
well,
no.
You can have a sub account name.
I'm going through it.
You can give a sub account name to any account. You can the primary name on the account can be this, and the sub account name.
So they have LCA empowerment form, which is scholarship.
Who's the signer? Who's the signatory?
The signature to the account is Daniel.
Why?
Because he was the president. So LCA.
So why didn't he turn it over? This strikes at the heart of integrity. This is what we're talking about here. You're saying we're attacking the people personally, but let me tell you something.
So do you understand that the current administration is the principal applicant to the account of LCA, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so when this administration time is over, they're going to turn over
everything
account to the new president.
I don't care what it is.
So
if it's a scholarship account,
so you're trying to tell the community that when Daniel was turning over his transition time, he never gave this account.
He held back one particular account because from his own explanation, there are videos that have been taken down here now.
We're gonna go through this. We're going to go through the video.
And there are transcripts and stuff that haven't been provided. But from his own explanation, okay, he felt like he was given custodial right over this. Now, let me tell you why this is important when you're talking about community leadership. When you have people who arbitrarily assign themselves powers that they don't have or they're not supposed to have, and don't do the right thing, don't do what they know they're supposed to do, okay, in turning over things or in being completely open about what is and what isn't. We have a problem here, okay, and that problem strikes at the heart of integrity.
I think we have a serious problem right now.
We have a serious problem.
Talking about this account.
Yeah, so don't give me 2019.
I'm trying to question this account because as a president who is leaving, he's supposed to turn over
everything,
every single fund. So I want you to really clear the community down in my doubt as well. Why are we putting our personal name on a community forms that of money that was given for the association? Why are we now saying this form is for LCA? We have to have.
That's not that question. Not for me. That's the question you need to go ask the person who running, the former president who running for vice president. That's a question you need to go ask. That's a question you need to go ask the stand-up bearer of this ticket.
As an old member of this association, I'm very new to this association. There's a lot of things that you know. That more people that just moving, we don't really know about it.
It is unprecedented.
But I feel like as an association, every single fund that has been raised should be in the name of the association. It should not be in the name of any.
So, but let me ask you, why are we talking about this? We're not talking about this because we're trying to destroy a person, or we're trying to destroy Daniel Dogba because I hate him and this, that. No, that's not the aim of this.
But Daniel justified that he
Daniel is my friend.
He justified that he turned over every single.
So the reason we're talking about this is not to tarnish somebody's character or reputation or whatnot. What we're saying is the stakes are high. When you're running for the leadership, the lead office of a community,
okay,
a community, so there's a 501c3, okay, that is supposed to adhere to the law, you know, at certain level. Or let's say maybe it was a misjudgment or a miscalculation. But you got to understand that after the fact, the administration approached Mr. Dogba about this multiple times. And you understand?
I've been into
and give him opportunity to do it the right way.
I remember
the question is, did he do it the right way?
I remember talking to the current president about this account, and he told me that if just to be on the record, I have to verify this. Okay, I don't want. And I remember him talking to me that he and Nathaniel, they've been to the bank before.
Not Nathaniel. We're talking about Mr. Dogba.
Dogba.
Yeah.
They've been to the bank before.
Yeah.
So, and then the last call. Now this is going to sound the last call during the meeting. So the current president talked about this money, and then Nathaniel, and I keep saying Nathaniel, Dogba came on to clarify about this whole money issue, and then Keta said, and I should not say Keta, the president, he said that, are you willing for me to pause our conversation concerning this account? And the both of them agreed. But up to now, the community have not seen this conversation. So that's one thing too. I think we'll have to invite the president.
Let's not. Here's the thing, okay? Because I want to be clear, okay? I want to be fair. And the thing is we need to be clear that this is not about assassination of character, okay, and destroying anybody. The reason this has been brought up is because it cuts to the heart of judgment and decision making, okay, and it cuts to the heart of imagine, let me give you a scenario. Imagine we were presiding as community leader or community president. You're presiding over millions, because right now we're talking about small change here. You're presiding over millions of dollars, and people are entrusting you and trusting you to do the right thing and to operate with integrity.
We'll be inviting the state of Texas to
audit
every single step.
Okay, where you have to be audited, you're presiding over millions, all right? And these kind of inconsistencies are at play. Are you kidding me? So what we're trying to do here is, this is the person now that Mr. Nathaniel Gwan has now selected to be his vice president. Okay? What is it you want to tell me that Mr. Gwan, maybe he can, you know, claim deniability, that he didn't know or whatever. Don't you vet? You didn't vet your vice presidential or your running mate? Okay? So what you see us doing right now, what you see me doing, this is the vetting process of these guys who are vying for the lead position of our community. They have to be scrutinized. They have to be vetted. We have to hold their feet to the fire.
That is fair enough. That is 100% fair enough.
And there is nothing wrong with me as a pastor in this community wanting to do that, with you as a citizen or a member of the community wanting to do that, okay? Because what we're saying is our community is love for the community that is the motivation here. So we love our community. And we don't want you to fool us.
As a pastor in the community, as a great man of God in this organization, you don't think whenever the organization is going astray, it's your responsibility as a leader of the community. You don't have to be elected as a
it's my obligation
of LCA. As long as you're a pastor in the community,
it's my obligation.
You're a leader automatically.
Yeah.
So you don't think whenever the chat room, I really want you to go deep.
In fact, I want to take this time to talk to all the pastors in this community.
No, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get a little bit. I'm gonna get there a little bit. But I want,
Don't let it burn and run you away.
I want you to tell me as a pastor, you don't need any power from the community.
No.
As long as you're a pastor, you have your congregation, you already have that leadership.
Yeah.
So whenever you're in a group chat and then you notice that the group chat is not going right, the group chat it's not like the way it's supposed to be. People getting too emotional.
Yeah.
People attacking people's personality, not discussing the issues.
Yeah.
You don't think it's gonna be right enough to come in with a neutral judgment, not having a stand or not going for this or not?
We can always, as a pastor, you can always come in and make a plea, and you can plead with people in the community and the actors in the forum for civility. You can always appeal to the actors, say, please try to be civil or whatever, okay? You can do that. But make no mistake, okay? This forum is designed for interaction and for engagement.
Yeah.
And it's okay to interact and engage. It becomes a problem when people do get out of sorts and start name calling and cussing and attacking. You know, it just becomes belligerent.
Just to make it clear, the platform is a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's people.
There is no kid. There is no kid in the group. We are all other.
Yeah.
We are all other in the group, and also in the same group chat we have pastors.
Yeah.
We have bishops.
Yeah.
And we have respectable older people, senior citizens in the group.
Yeah.
So I feel like because I think almost all the pastors within the DFW they're in the group chat. So I think as a man for the men of God, I think you guys need to bring that stability in the
I know
group.
we put our men of God on a pedestal in the community, but men of God are human beings, and we have interest in our community like anyone else. Like I said, we can make an appeal, you know, to the actors to say, hey, let's be civil, let's try to be, but we're not. You know, I don't know if y'all want the men are going to call conference and this. Now we do play a mediating role, okay, at times, and we should. That it comes with the office, and that's part of it, okay. But make no mistake about it. As a pastor, it's also my right, okay.
Well, Pastor John, sometimes
I can take sides.
Sometimes in your response, you've been very, very vocal in the group chat.
I'm very vocal.
You've been very, very vocal.
But I haven't been rude.
No,
I haven't been rude.
You've been discussing the issues, but you've been very, very
disrespectful. Somebody may take it as disrespect. It depends on, you know, who it is. I haven't been rude. I haven't been disrespectful. Number 3, I haven't been, you know, belligerent. Let's take, for example, like Mr. Guan.
Yes,
okay, sir. Accuse me. He said, oh, you call yourself, even I think his campaign chair, you call yourself pastor, you giving wrong advice and you can't hear, you just talk any kind of way. Okay.
I think it was his response when you when you try
How many times have I responded it's been twice.
It's like when you come in to accuse him.
But what did he do? What did he do?
The people that texting in a group chat, they are all other. They are all responsible people. They take actions for what they do.
He's the standard bearer of a campaign. If you are the standard bearer of your campaign and elements from within your campaign, okay, who call themselves strategists and chairman and this and that, okay, are the ringleaders of this kind of banter and this kind of rancor, and you don't reel that in, and you're going to lead a community, I know they're not children, but you should have some sort of leverage with these guys. You should have some sort of influence, okay?
But
you should be able to pick up the phone call and call your people and say, look,
let's get this straight.
This is getting out of hand. Let's step back. So that's where I'm holding his feet to the fire is, how have you allowed this under your watch?
He don't tell them what to post. Or he don't tell them what to do. They are all other. But it's just like for you, for example, right?
We're not talking about somebody posted 1 or 2 things. But this is a habit.
This is, for example, right?
And these people represent your campaign. They represent you.
Look for example, the people that you lead. So somebody, I'm in your church, and I do something real terrible.
Yeah.
So people will come accuse you. They will come to you because I'm part of your church.
Well, first of all, what I would do is I would try to provide soul care.
So why if you have tried,
and see what's going on with you,
multiple times and I refuse?
And what caused you to reach that point? Second of all, I would distance myself in no uncertain terms. If it rises to the level to where I need to distance myself, I will make it clear. Okay, second of all, especially if people are associating you with me or the organization that I lead or the team that I lead or whatever. I'll first try to deal with you directly. If I can't get through and I can't accomplish anything there, then I'll make it clear to the rest of the community and distance myself and say this is not a representation of me. But let me tell you why I say that this standard bearer of this particular campaign, Mr. Guan, has exercised poor judgment and is telling us to elect him to the lead position in this community, and he hasn't made a strong enough case. Instead, he's allowed this kind of circus to continue on his watch. Okay, number one. Number two, the last post that I responded to, I was compelled to respond to that. You know why?
Why?
Because he was drawing a straight line from Uvalde to this administration and saying because the administration hasn't said anything about it.
Was it not fair enough?
And he is now saying something about it, so he's the big guy. And he's
so you don't
better.
think was it not fair enough for the administration to say something about what happened?
What does the administration saying something about Uvalde and all that have to do with, now the administration it's a choice. The administration could have made a choice and say, in the interest of solidarity or whatever.
So, okay.
No, listen, let me answer that question. In the interest of solidarity with the larger community and the larger state of Texas and all that, we're just going to say something because we don't know who in our community may have also been we are indirectly affected. We don't know whoever may have been directly affected. But that's a judgment call, and it's not required. It's the prerogative, and that is different than making a statement about Memorial Day. These are two. Memorial Day is not about what happened.
Because the concern was, why is it that in the morning we never get no statement from LCA concerning the stuff that happened?
How do you know a statement wasn't going to come?
But like I said, I'm not going deep into that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's politics. We're not.
Because what this standard bearer did is he tried to use.
We're not trying to go into politics.
He tried to use the situation to make himself look better.
Like I said,
and to rebuke the administration.
Once again, guys, this conversation is not about politics. It's just about concerned member.
We gotta set a record straight, man.
So I don't want anybody.
We gotta set a record straight.
We should not go back and forth and thinking that we are campaigning for Nathaniel or we campaigning for Keda. No, it's just a concern that I have with the community and things that are going. I think that is not right. That I have to have a conversation with the pastor because he's very, very, very active in the group chat. I need to know why ready.
Well, I don't always comment in the group chat.
But you don't comment though. But when you comment,
when I comment,
it's like a bomb.
Well, and usually when I comment on certain, I don't like foolishness.
Because I can remember one post. I
don't like people to be disingenuous.
I can remember one post in a group. You said that I'm going to preach. After preaching, I will come back and Baboon will defy Colon.
Okay, let me tell you what I mean.
So when I think
you know why I did that?
Why?
You know why I did that? Because, again, these same guys always have the tendency to say, "Oh, you pastor, why are you talking here and this, that?" So I wanted to be very clear to them. I may be a pastor. I'm also a member of this community, and you're not going to tell me what lane I should stay in and what lane I shouldn't stay in.
So don't you think?
Who tell you? You don't want to create that lane for me
just
to be
by that statement, most people.
No, listen. Let me tell you what I'm trying to tell them is, in as much as you think, okay, you can go sideways and say stuff, off the side of your neck or whatever, and you think that you can use that to silence me. Make no mistake about it, I'm not that guy. You're not going to silence me. Number one,
okay.
I would choose to be silent when I need to be silent. Okay, when I know it, you get what I'm saying. Whatever factors in there, but you're not going to malign me and silence me and tell me and use my office of pastor against me.
Against you,
how are you going to use it against me?
Nah, see, so that was the reason why you responded like that.
I'm not always pastor.
So that's the reason why not yet. So that's the reason why you said, okay, let me go preach. After preaching, I coming back.
Exactly.
Then about more difficult.
Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? Because somebody is a man of the club or pastor, so these guys, a lot of these guys think you can just say things and push them to the wall and whatnot, and you won't get a response. Now, the Christian thing, okay, probably to do, okay, as a pastor is to, you know, Jesus said, turn the other cheek and all of that. But I don't think, you know, standing up for truth and debunking misinformation and disinformation has anything to do with the other cheek. And you see, people, when you read scripture, you got to understand what it's saying. That's not even what it's saying. You can't interpret it your own way and then you impose your interpretation on me. You don't know about it more than me.
I'm really glad that you saying this, because more pastors that I know, I have talked to, they have way deep passion for the community.
Exactly.
So whenever they come out to talk, then other people think that because the pastor, they don't have to say these things.
Well, let me say something, and this I want to encourage all the pastors out there that may be watching. Don't allow these guys, you know, to use your office and your calling against you. They don't have a right to do that. You're a member, you're a bona fide member of this community, and you have a right to speak on the issues of this community whenever, wherever, and however you need to. Now, in the interest of community, you know, we want to be civil, we want to exercise sound judgment, okay? Obviously, there's a reason why people put their pastors, their imams, and their spiritual leaders at a higher, you know, and on a pedestal. I understand it, I get it. I'm not opposed to it. Okay, I enjoy the perks that come with
like
it.
I tell people, right?
But make
for example,
no mistake.
let me just go to my own pastor, right?
Yeah.
My pastor, he's so passionate about whatever he do. He put 99% in everything that he do. So because he becomes so passionate about it, and then people think that, oh, he's arrogant.
Yeah.
But then deep down in his heart, he's not arrogant.
Well,
he just...
here's the thing. Sometimes we do, I understand, we do need to exercise judgment and sometimes rise above the fray, you know, be more mature. Yeah, because you're dealing with sheep.
Okay.
As a shepherd, okay, the community in a way is sort of the sheep. It's a shepherd-sheep relationship, right? So there's certain places where you got to exercise restraint, okay, self-control, and be, you get what I'm saying?
I get you.
So I understand why people get uncomfortable, all right, when a pastor
but sometimes
becomes very vocal.
when the pastor's saying the truth, and we know that it's the truth, we like it. You do something real bad, and then they tell you to do this. We know it, we're not going to accept the fact that we're wrong.
I understand. We
listen, accept people with conscience.
There's a lot of tension. There's been a lot of tension in our community on a lot of things. So I understand where people.
I think we're going to find another day to really go deep
we can't do it all.
The pastor.
But there's been some tension, and so there's a lot of. There's been name callings and different things, and people do get uncomfortable, and you get what I'm saying. So there's a lot of things that go into that.
I get one question concerning the pastor. Do you think, in a fair judgment, do you ever believe that all the churches in DFW will join together one church?
Well, that's not practical. That doesn't even make sense. You see, people who say that and who say, why the pastor, they can't just come together and
it's a question, because for example, right?
Why are you not working together?
Just for example, right?
Why you and all the people in the community didn't get the same job?
The Muslim, they all get a mosque. It's one building, right? It don't matter where you come from, who you are. It's a one mosque. They all go there and worship.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Well, the Christians have the same thing.
Yeah,
but one Lord.
I know it's one Lord, but it's one baptism. But what I'm saying is
one communion. You understand?
I get it.